The house goes quiet after they leave. Not peaceful quiet, mean quiet, the kind that sticks to the walls. I'm standing in my kitchen in the farmhouse, both hands on the table like I'm bracing against weather. It's late, past 9. The windows are black, so I can see my own face in them, and I look like every tired widow in every small-town diner. Hair up, jaw set, eyes a little swollen from the kind of crying you don't admit you did. I start wiping the table anyway. Wiping gives my hands something to do and keeps my mouth from saying what I want to say, which is get out. I should have said it while they were still here. Harris and Gillian, my son and his wife, my sweet family. Sweet. The whole visit was like being slowly wrapped in a blanket I didn't ask for. Mom, you shouldn't be living alone out here. It's not safe. That was Harris. He always starts soft. Mom, I'm serious. It's dark out here. No neighbors. What if you fall? What if you get dizzy? Dizzy, that's his favorite word lately. Then Gillian comes in, lays her pretty little manicured hand over mine like I'm fragile crystal, and says, "You've been getting a little forgetful lately, Piper. That's normal, it's not your fault. We just want to make sure the paperwork is in order, for your sake." For my sake, They brought a manila envelope. They slid it across my own kitchen table like I'm a client, not the woman who kept this house standing through mice and mold, and a man dying in the garage. "Nothing major," Gillian said. Her voice is so smooth when she's lying. "Just some standard authorizations, just to keep you protected. You know, medical, legal, like if something ever happened and you couldn't think straight, Harris can step in and help without any confusion." I told them I had a headache. I told them maybe tomorrow. I did not sign a thing. That's important. They did the whole, "we love you, we're only trying to help" routine, kissed my face, loaded themselves back into Gillian's shiny SUV, and drove off down my lane like they owned the place already. When the gravel crunch fades, the kitchen feels wrong. The air feels used, like somebody handled it with greasy hands. I set the dish towel down, turn back to the table, and that's when I see it. Her phone, Gillian's phone, is sitting right there by the salt shaker. At first, I just stare at it. I'm not the type who snoops. I don't pick through pockets or read diaries. I never have. But something about seeing her phone left on my table after a talk like that feels off. Like a gun someone accidentally left in your purse. I don't even get to think long. The phone lights up and starts to ring. And that's it. That's the moment. That's where everything splits. Because the name glowing on the lock screen, big as day, is David. And the photo is my late husband's face. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the hype button, and support this channel with a like. And tell us below, have you ever faced something like this? I go still. I don't gasp. I don't drop anything. I don't scream his name like a fool in a bad movie. I just freeze from the inside out, like ice water hit my chest. The picture is him, not some random man with the same name. Him, my David, red nose from the sun, fishing hat with the ugly fake lures stuck in the brim, grin like he just got away with something. I took that picture. I remember exactly where. I remember the joke he told right after. I remember the way he smelled like lake water and gasoline. And David Gale has been gone 5 years. I'm staring at Gillian's phone, at my late husband's face in her favorites list, with a pretty little red heart after his name, when the first text drops down on the lock screen. I don't even have to unlock it. It just slides down like it wants me to see. "You handled her well. Don't push the papers yet. She has to think it's her idea. Her is me." Before I can even breathe, another text pops in under it. "Once she signs, you move her. Keep her calm. No drama. Move her. Not help her. Not see if she wants to come stay. Move her." That's when my heartbeat changes. Not faster, harder, lower, colder, like it drops into my stomach and starts swinging. I wake the phone with my thumb. I'm not stupid enough to try to break into it. I don't need to. The preview shows enough. The thread keeps rolling with those little message bubbles. Bits, not full paragraphs, but enough to build the shape of it. Don't scare her. Say this is what I wanted. Tell her it's safer for everyone if she lets go of the property. After she signs the transfer, you move her. Make her feel guilty for staying alone out there. Make her think she can't manage it anymore. The voice in those messages is pretending to be David. His phrasing, his little jokes, the words he used to calm me. Whoever it is knows our marriage and is using me like a lever. But I'm not thinking ghost. It's not David. Someone is impersonating him in Gillian's phone, and they're already talking like I'm done. Once she signs, you move her. The boxes are ready. We all know what move her means. A care home with cheerful walls and bad coffee. Gillian once called it a relief for families and watched to see if I'd flinch. I don't ask why. I know. Money, control, convenience. I'm no longer Mom or Piper. I'm a liability they want to liquidate. I go from hurt to cold. From this can't be real to now I know the game. I start taking action. I photograph every message on her lock screen, email it to myself, keep this. Then I hide her phone behind jars of preserves, giving myself time. Only then do I let it sink in. Someone is coaching Gillian on how to handle me. There are papers. Some we saw, worse ones hidden. She has to think it's her idea. Once she signs, you move her. Move me out fast so I can't stop them. David wasn't an angel. He could be gentle or lie about money to protect me, but he would never sell me out or tell our son to get rid of your mother. Whoever is texting is using his voice like a mask. 5 years ago, when he passed, I broke. Harris sat where I am now and said, "Mum, I'll take care of everything." And I let him. From that moment, your house became the property. Your accounts became, I'll handle it, you get overwhelmed. They started testing me with words like overwhelmed and forgetful. Gillian came in smiling. We just want to consolidate title, streamline ownership. That's how people get you to sign your throat away. Now I have proof, not suspicion. They're planning to take my house, my name, my land, and move me like old furniture. And soon, it's already scheduled. I stop staring at the table. I pick up my phone and call my daughter. "Mom, come here," I say. "When?" "Now," I say. She doesn't ask why. She doesn't say what happened. She doesn't say, "Are you okay?" She just says, "I'm on my way," and hangs up. That right there is the moment the war really starts. I look around my kitchen. My kitchen looks back at me. The cabinets David never fixed right. The cheap blinds. The dent in the fridge from when Harris slammed it at 14 because I wouldn't let him go night fishing. The hook by the back door where David's cap used to hang. The little crack in the ceiling over the light. This is my place. My life is built into these walls like plaster. They think I'm going to sign a stack of papers and walk out of here quietly because somebody pretending to be my late husband told me to. I rest my hand flat on the table and I say out loud, to nobody but the fridge and the dark window and myself, no. Then I say, quieter, steady as a knife on a plate, my husband's been in the ground 5 years, and tonight he texted my daughter-in-law instructions on how to get me out of my own house. I sit in that sentence, and I wait for Lauren. Lauren shows up so fast I don't even hear her car. 1 minute, it's just me in the fridge humming and that phone hidden in the cabinet. Next minute, the side door opens and she's in my kitchen like she lives here. No coat, keys already shoved in her pocket, face set. She looks at me once, real fast, like checking if I'm bleeding. Then she says, "Where is it?" No hug, no, "Hey, Mom." No, "Are you okay?" She's my daughter. She knows if I said, "Come now," I am not okay. I point to the cabinet above the fridge. She moves the step stool without asking, climbs like she's done it 1,000 times, reaches behind the jars, pulls Gillian's phone down. Doesn't even flinch that she's going through somebody else's stuff. She's past manners. We sit at the table. The same table that 2 hours ago Harris and Gillian tried to turn into a signing desk. The same table where they told me, in sweet voices, that I'm getting a little forgetful. Lauren lights up the phone screen. She doesn't ask how I got into it because I didn't. I didn't unlock anything. I just caught what was already showing. We're not hacking. We're reading what showed up in my face, like God himself set it on the table. The lock screen still reads David, his face right there, stupid fishing hat, grin, red heart. Lauren's jaw tightens when she sees him. That alone hurts more than anything. Seeing my daughter look at her father's face like its evidence cuts deeper than watching my husband fall on the concrete. That night I was numb. Tonight I am awake. She scrolls down, and the message previews roll up again, little grey strips of poison. You handled her well. Don't push the papers yet. She has to think it's her idea. After she signs the transfer, you move her. Tell her it's safer for everyone if she lets go of the property. Don't scare her. Say this is what I wanted. Lauren reads slow. Her eyes don't move much. Her face goes still in that way she gets when she's past mad and into something cleaner. Then she looks up at me and says it. The sentence that changes the whole thing. Mum, she says quietly, they're not trying to take care of you. They're planning to get you to sign the land over, sell it to a developer, and then put you somewhere so you can't undo it. You're not part of their future. You're an obstacle that needs to be removed. It hits like a dropped brick, not because I didn't already know. I did. I felt it in my bones 10 minutes after they walked in here with their "we're just worried" talk. But hearing my daughter say it out loud like a diagnosis, in plain American English, no sugar, no maybe, that seals it. That makes it real in a way you can't back away from later. You can't tell yourself you overreacted after you've heard you're an obstacle that needs to be removed. I sit back in my chair. My heart feels slow and heavy, not weak, grounded, like it just sat down and planted itself. I say, so that's where we are. That's where we are, she says. We're quiet for a second. The kitchen feels like a hospital room after somebody finally says cancer. Then Lauren leans in and starts explaining, calm, like she's walking me through discharge paperwork. Okay, listen, she says. Here's how this works in real life. If they move you into care, and that's their word, not mine, care, like it's kind, then they get to say to everyone, we had to for her safety. They get credit. They look loving. They look like good people. I don't say anything. I let her keep talking. Then, she says, tapping the table with her index finger, once you're out of this house, they go to some lawyer and they say, my mother can't manage her own property anymore. She's confused. She forgets. She's not safe alone. She's in supervised care now. We just want to help. And if they get the wrong lawyer, or the right one, depending on how you look at it, that lawyer will hand them a stack of forms where Harris is authorized to act on your behalf. My mouth goes dry. Act on my behalf, I repeat. Right, she says. Sign things for you. Sell things for you. Handle the scary stuff so you don't have to worry. You will still technically be alive, still technically not in a hospital, still technically breathing, and you'll have zero say. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I understand, I say. And then, she keeps going, voice low, they sell the land. They sell Dad's land. They sell your house. They call it responsible liquidation or estate planning or some other pretty phrase. And they tell you it's already done. They pay off Harris's debt. They put money wherever they want it. And if you scream, you're just the confused old woman from the care facility who doesn't understand what's best for her. That sits between us like a loaded gun. I ask, real quiet, and when I tell them no, they move you farther, she says, someplace with a keypad on the door, and they say it's for your safety so you don't wander, and then you don't get to tell anyone anything. We sit in that, so this is not they hurt my feelings, this is not they're being pushy, this is removal, this is erasing me while I'm still alive, and right there, something in me shifts. I can feel it. Up until now, I've been shocked, scared, wounded. Now I'm done with that. Now I'm something else. Now I'm cold. I stop thinking like their mother. I stop thinking like the person they'll feel guilty about later. I start thinking like owner. I start thinking like problem you cannot move. I look at Lauren. Okay, I say. So what do we do? Lauren doesn't even hesitate. She was already waiting for me to ask that. We do not, she says, and she is counting on her fingers now. Go to the police right now. We don't go to lawyers they know. We don't start screaming in town. That makes them panic. Panic makes them fast. Fast is bad for us. Okay, I say. No cops. We also, she says, do not throw them out tonight. I know you want to. I know you want to lock that door and keep them out. We're not doing that yet either. I frown. Why not? Because then they work from the outside, she says. Then they say, Mum's being irrational, and they go ahead and file anyway, and we have nothing in our hands. We need them in the house. We need them talking where we can hear them. We need them thinking they're close so their guard is down. I stare at her. You want me to let the foxes in the hen house? No, she says. I want you to invite the foxes to sleep in the hen house so I can put cameras on them. Despite everything, I snort. You always were dramatic, I say. She doesn't smile. Mum, I'm serious. Listen to me. We pull them in, not out, in. We make them feel like you're finally ready to accept help. We make them think you're tired. We make them think you're overwhelmed and grateful, and just about to sign. We tell them you want them here, in the farmhouse, to look after you and help with all the scary paperwork. We let them think they're winning. Here's a condensed version, keeping all key context and tension. My mouth tightens. I hate this already. I know, Lauren says, but if they stay here, we control the arena. You hear what they say, see what papers they move, who they call. Their words are the proof we need. I hesitate. Won't it look suspicious? They've been waiting for you to say you can't handle it since Dad's funeral. One word to Harris, and he's in your living room. I lean back, remembering Harris growing up, David promising to fix the ceiling crack. Okay, we pull them in. Lauren nods, lowering her voice into strategy mode. Act tired. Lose your glasses once. Ask the date once. Rub your forehead, smile, and thank Jillian. Let Harris handle your mail and talk over you. That's disgusting, I say. That's bait, she replies. People talk when they think you're dumb. We need them comfortable, bragging in the house. I'll record it, she explains. She'll bring voice-activated recorders, photograph papers, copy contracts. They think you're slow, emotional. They won't see me coming. Then she softens. They won't gently move you to a condo. They'll take your house, sell your land, dump you somewhere with linoleum and a call button, and tell everyone it's for your own good. That's why we act fast. I nod. We invite them in. Tonight. Tonight, I repeat. She tells me exactly what to say to Harris. I'm scared. The house feels too big. Overwhelmed by paperwork. Maybe they should stay for a while to help. Make it his idea. I pick up the phone. Harris answers immediately, soft and careful. I tremble, let my voice sound small. I tell him the house feels too big, I can't sleep, I feel stupid. Relief floods his voice. You don't have to carry this alone anymore, he says. I whisper, maybe it would be easier if you and Jillian stayed here for a little while, just to help me sort things, so I don't screw it up. No hesitation. He jumps at it. Yeah, he says fast. Yeah, Mum, of course. We can do that. We can absolutely do that, if that's what you want. If that's what you want, I repeat, like I'm handing it to him. It is, he says. It is what I want. We'll come stay, and we'll make sure everything is in order. I'll take care of it. You won't have to worry about anything. Okay? I've got you. My stomach rolls. Thank you, baby, I whisper. Get some sleep, he says. We'll come by tomorrow and start getting things settled. We hang up. I set my phone down. My hand is steady. My heart is steady. My anger is not wild anymore. It's focused. Lauren is watching me. Her face is pale and bright at the same time. She lets out a breath. Good, she says. Now they walk into your house on purpose. Now we don't chase them. We watch them perform. They show up the next morning with suitcases, not a toothbrush and a change of clothes. Suitcases. Harris doesn't even knock. He walks into my kitchen like the deed already slid into his name overnight and says, "Mom, we're here." Like I invited help, not predators. Jillian comes in behind him, all sunshine and management. Puffer vest, tight ponytail, clipboard smile. She gives the room a once-over, the way a realtor stands in a sad house and says, "There's great potential if you just open up the space." I have lived here 30 years. She's been in this kitchen 20 times. Now she's looking at it like it's a listing. "Hi, Piper," she says, too bright. "We'll just get settled in the spare room. We don't want to be a bother." Too late. The spare room was a pantry before David tried to finish it one summer and then left half the trim raw. Jillian rolls her suitcase in there like she's checking into a boutique rental. Harris drops his duffel right on my couch, boots on the cushion, doesn't ask, doesn't wipe his feet. If I said something right then, the whole game would be over before it starts. So I don't. Instead, I make my eyes soft and tired and say, "Thank you for coming, honey. I've just been feeling so overwhelmed." Harris melts like butter under a diner heat lamp. You've never seen pride like this. He puts his hand on my shoulder like a pastor and tells me, "You don't have to worry about anything anymore, okay? I'm here now. We're going to take care of everything." We. He's been here 3 minutes and it's already we. Then it starts. Jillian stands in the middle of my kitchen and frowns, hands on her hips, like she's inspecting a safety hazard. "This layout really isn't safe for you, Piper," she says in her professional care voice. "These throw rugs, total fall risk. And this table here blocking the walkway. If you had to get to the bathroom fast at night, you could get stuck. We should open this up." Before I can say I've walked around this table in the dark more nights than she's been alive, she grabs one end and drags it 6 inches to the left without asking. Harris picks up my rug by the sink, the one with the little chickens on it, the one I've had forever, and folds it over his arm. "Oh," I say, very soft. "I like that rug." "It's old, Mum," he says. "You don't want to catch your toe. You could break a hip and not even know." Break a hip and not even know. I almost laugh in his face. I don't. They move like they're home inspectors. They open cabinets. They check the mail pile by the bread box like raccoons in a cooler. Harris scoops up every envelope with my name on it, bills, ads, coupons, all of it, and says, "I'll just keep these in our room so you don't lose anything important, okay? You've had a couple things slip through the cracks lately, and I don't want you getting in trouble because you forgot to pay something." I reach out, real gentle. "Oh, I can look through that this afternoon, baby. You don't have to bother." He pulls his hand back fast, like I'm a little kid reaching for a lighter. "Mom," he says in that slow, patient voice, "I told you already. You don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. I've got it. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Not to help. To take." Jillian lands at the kitchen table with a stack of papers and colored tabs. She smiles like a nurse about to start a procedure. "Okay," she says. "Let's just knock out a couple little things while we're all sitting here. Nothing major, just standard authorizations, in case you ever have a medical issue or get confused and can't communicate clearly." There it is. Confused. She slides the first page toward me. "This one just says Harris can speak for you in an emergency," she says. "You know, like if you were in the hospital and couldn't sign. We really should do this sooner than later. We've been putting it off for months and it makes me nervous." I lean in close and squint like I can't read. I can read just fine. I can also see the words medical and legal on that form. Legal shouldn't be in there. Legal shouldn't be anywhere near there. What does this say exactly? I ask, all slow. Gillian does this practiced little laugh. It's just so he can help, she says. That's not what I asked, I say, still in grandma voice. Harris jumps in. Mom, he says, it just means, God forbid something happens, I can handle decisions for you, instead of letting strangers decide. You know I'd never do anything that wasn't best for you. I say, nodding like I'm reassured. Lauren told me, Stoll, don't fight. You fight now, she said. They go hard. You stall now, they relax. So I put a hand to my forehead and sigh like I'm a little woozy. My sugar's funny, I say. Can we do this after lunch? I'm feeling fuzzy right now. They do not like that. Gillian presses her lips together. Harris's jaw twitches. But I'm playing fragile and cooperative, not defiant, so they can't push too hard without looking like monsters, even to themselves. Sure, Harris says finally, fake patient. After lunch. Thank you, baby, I whisper, like he's doing me a favor instead of trying to sign my life out from under me. Lauren is already here. She slid in through the side door 15 minutes after they arrived, carrying a canvas tote like she was bringing groceries. Just checking on Mom, she told Gillian, all smiles. You know how she gets dizzy. She said it so sweet I almost spit. Now she's leaning against the counter, phone in her hand, face neutral. Nobody pays attention to her, except when she corrects Gillian's tone. This is good. Let them think she's emotional backup, not logistics. What they don't know is that while they were busy explaining standard authorizations, Lauren had her tote bag half open under the counter. She pulled out 2 cheap little voice recorders the size of thumb drives. Voice activated. She slid one behind the flour canister. She palmed the other and stuck it on top of the bookshelf in the living room behind the old photo of David and Harris fishing. Harris walked past it twice and didn't even blink. People talk more when they think you're not listening, I tell you in my head. And they talk more when they think you're dumb. By early afternoon, the house doesn't feel like my house. It feels like a staging area. Harris has set up a little command station on my dining hutch. His laptop, Gillian's laptop, a cheap locking file box like the kind people keep birth certificates in, already labeled with my name on post-it notes. He keeps saying, we're just organizing. He keeps saying, this'll make it easier on you. He keeps saying, you'll thank me later. He's talking to me like I'm already gone. Gillian starts tidying. That means moving anything personal of mine. Checkbook, insurance cards, medication list, deed copies, David's old truck title, into their room so it doesn't get misplaced. She clicks her tongue and goes, Piper, how do you live like this? It's chaos, like I've survived 60 years by accident. I do the act. I misplace my glasses twice. I ask, once, what day is it? I let Gillian show me how to use my own coffee maker. I nod, while Harris explains my own bank statement back to me. Wrong. I say, oh gosh, I didn't realize, and make my mouth soft like an apology. I want to claw his face off, but I sit there like a sweet, dumb old woman who's just so grateful her busy, successful son will handle things. By dinner, they're comfortable. By bedtime, they're arrogant, and arrogant people talk. The walls in this house are old. Sound goes through them like water through a screen door. I've heard every argument, every lie, every whispered phone call since 1994. They forget that. City people think walls are walls. Country people know walls are paper. It's almost midnight. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed with the light off. The only light in the hallway is the blue glow under the spare room door. I can hear them through the thin drywall, plain as if they were sitting at my feet. Gillian's voice first, low and clipped. This is getting out of hand, Harris. I had a client call me and cancel this afternoon. She said, I'm sorry, I just don't feel comfortable working with someone who's trying to force her husband's mother into assisted living to flip her land. Do you understand that? Do you understand what that sounds like? You said this was going to be clean. He hisses back. It would have been clean if she'd just signed tonight. She's dragging it out. She's making a whole production. She's making me the bad guy. I'm bending over backwards trying to help her, and she's running around town acting like I'm stealing from her. Gillian scoffs. You literally told me last week, and I quote, I'll get her to sign, and then once she signs, we move her out before she stirs anything up. He's quiet for a second. Then I hear his voice, low and mean, the voice he uses when he thinks nobody will hold it against him later. Here's a condensed version that keeps all the key emotion and plot intact. Aren't you? We just need her signature, Harris says. Once she signs, she can't walk it back. We sell to the developer, clear my debt, done. We'll move her out after. Clear my debt. There it is. Not love, not concern, debt. He keeps ranting. This is my future. I'm not letting her ruin it. She said she felt fuzzy today. I can take that to a lawyer. I'll file she's slipping. Gillian cuts in. If she won't sign this month, the developer walks. What's the plan if she keeps stalling? I can't lose another client. Harris exhales. Then I'll file she's mentally incompetent. I already have her signature. I'll sign. They'll accept it. I freeze. No excuses, no for her safety. Just my son declaring me unfit, ready to forge my name and sell what's mine. Gillian's voice hardens. She poisons people against us. She needs to be moved. Fast. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling crack, replaying his words. I already have copies of her signature. I'll sign. They'll accept it. It sits in me like iron. Morning. Lauren arrives calm and bright. Gillian's in the shower. Harris is outside saying, We're close. I'll have full signing authority soon. We move. Lauren slips to Gillian's open laptop, plugs in a drive, copies files. I distract in the doorway, humming, pretending to search for glasses. Then Lauren stiffens, snaps photos, and pulls me into the laundry room. She shows me her phone. A draft sale agreement, Gale Farmhouse parcel. My home, listed like an asset, seller's representative, Harris Gale, acting with full authority due to owner's diminished capacity. Arrangements for supervised care to be coordinated by family. The owner is me. Lauren whispers, You seeing this? I'm seeing it, I say. This isn't a maybe, she says. This isn't a plan. This isn't, if things get bad. They are writing it like it already happened. They're telling a developer, in writing, that you're basically not mentally present. They're saying Harris has full authority. They're telling this developer you're already being moved for supervised care. They've already erased me, I say. They think they have, she says. Something in me goes solid then. Not brittle, solid, heavy like concrete. I hand her phone back. They've already written me down as incapable, I say, and my voice doesn't shake. They are selling me while I'm still standing in my own kitchen. That's when I know this isn't survival anymore. This is war. There are two kinds of power in a town like ours. Paper and mouth. Paper is what they were counting on. Mouth is mine. The next morning, I get up early, put on jeans and my old work boots, and drive into town like I'm just getting eggs. I don't look wild. I don't march in waving documents. I don't point fingers and scream they're trying to steal my land. I don't do drama. Drama turns into, oh, she's unstable, poor thing. No. I do something quieter and crueler. I do disappointed mother. First stop is the farmer's market in the church lot. A few folding tables, jars of honey, old men selling tomatoes from the backs of their trucks. The same people who watched my kids grow up and brought me covered dishes the week David passed. People who carry stories the way they carry coupons. I pick up a dozen eggs and say, just soft enough to make the woman behind the table lean in. Lord, Harris is under such pressure lately. I feel awful for him. She tuts automatically. Oh, honey, is he okay? I don't know, I sigh. He keeps talking like he doesn't have a choice. Says he might have to take my title and sell the land just to cover his debt. Says I'll just be in the way anyway, so he'll have to place me somewhere with supervision so I don't... Do something unsafe. Those were his words. Place me. I know he's stressed. It's breaking his heart. You can see it's eating him up inside. I say breaking his heart. I say it like I'm worried about him. I do not say he's a snake. You never say snake yourself. You let other people say snake for you. The woman's face changes. Pity flips to offense. Not at me, at him. That's what I want. He said that to you? She whispers, eyes big. Oh, sweetheart, I say, putting a hand to my chest, like I'm embarrassed for him, not for me. I don't blame him. He's just trying to protect his future. He said it's the only way to keep his business from collapsing. I told him. I said, baby, I don't want to be a burden. I pause there. People here are allergic to the word burden. That word lands under her skin like a splinter. She says, and I can hear the anger heating up already. I don't push. I don't beg her to be outraged. I just give her that little sad smile, squeeze her hand and say, you pray for him, like I'm sorry for my boy. Then I let her carry it. Next stop is the gas station coffee counter. That place is louder than any news station. You pour coffee there at 9 a.m. And by dinner, half the county knows who's sleeping with who and who bounced a check. Loretta's behind the counter. She's been there forever. She knows everybody's version of everybody. Her eyebrows go up when she sees me like, you're out early. Morning, Piper, she says. I lean in like I'm telling her a secret I don't want repeated, which is exactly how you guarantee it'll spread. Loretta, I whisper, I'm so embarrassed I don't even know how to say this, but if you hear people talking, I just want you to know I'm not mad at him. Her eyes sharpen instantly. At who, she says. Harris, I say with a little sad laugh breath. You know how kids are. He's just out of his mind with stress. He keeps telling me I can't stay in my own house anymore. He says I shouldn't be left loose out there by myself. Left loose, can you imagine? I know he means well, but God, that stung. He said he and Jillian are just going to take my paperwork and handle it and then get me placed somewhere supervised so I don't, burn the house down or wander into traffic. He said after they sell the land, he'll finally be able to breathe. Silence. Loretta doesn't say, that's awful. She says, wow, very flat. If you know Loretta, wow is the same as, I'm calling 3 people as soon as you leave. I pat her hand and lower my voice even more. Just don't think badly of him, I say. He's under a lot of pressure. He said it's tearing him up inside to do this to me, but he doesn't see any other way. He said, Mom, I don't want to, but you're not capable of managing the property anymore. That's how he put it. I said, baby, don't talk like that. You'll make people think you're trying to get rid of me. He said, people will understand. I make my eyes wet, not crying. Just wet. Loretta's mouth is a hard line. She says again. Last stop before I drive back home is the church kitchen. 2 ladies are setting out foil pans for the Sunday bake. I don't even have to bring it up this time. One of them looks up, puts a hand on her chest and goes, Piper, honey, is it true what I heard about Harris wanting to sell your place? There it is, less than 3 hours. That's how fast small-town mouth works. I give them the same gentle, ashamed little honesty. I don't want people thinking he's heartless, I say. He's just scared. He keeps saying, Mom, you're not capable of managing this property. It's too much liability. Stop being selfish. He said that. Selfish. He said he's going to have to take title and sell for my own good, and then place me somewhere safe with supervision. I told him I don't want to make him look like the son who threw his mother out. He said, people will know it was necessary. I see their faces twist, both of them. You couldn't pay for that. That's all I do. I don't accuse. I don't call him names. I just lay out his hard choice, like I'm heartbroken for him. I frame him like a man who is so desperate he's prepared to put his own mother away and flip her land to clean up his mess. I say it like it hurts me to repeat it, which makes it sound true, which makes it stick. Reputation in a place like this is currency. You can get around the law here. You cannot get around the look people give you at the feed store. By mid-afternoon, his phone starts lighting up. I know because I'm home by then, standing at my sink when his truck crunches into the lane so fast gravel pops. He slams the door, stomps into my kitchen, and doesn't even pretend anymore. "Mom," he snaps, "what exactly have you been saying to people in town?" There's no, "Hey," no, "How are you feeling?" No warm voice. Gone. Mask off. I fold a dish towel like I'm confused. "What do you mean, honey?" He jabs a finger at me. "Don't do that," he barks. "Don't play dumb." Tom pulled the bathroom remodel. He said he doesn't feel comfortable getting in the middle of family stuff right now. Family stuff. Then Mrs. Daly called Gillian and said she's no longer comfortable listing with us because, and I quote, "I don't want my name attached to this thing you're doing with your mother." What thing, Mom? What thing is she talking about? Because she sure as hell didn't make that up. I widen my eyes like a grandma in a commercial. "I didn't say anything bad," I say quietly. "I just said you were under pressure. I said you were so stressed you were talking about maybe needing to sell the land and place me somewhere supervised for my safety. I told them it was breaking your heart. That's all." Gillian comes in behind him right then, and she's not doing the fake daughter smile now. Her face is tight and white and furious. "Piper," she says, voice sharp like glass, "do you have any idea what you've started?" I turn my head slow. "Sweetheart," I say, "are you all right?" She gives this short laugh, no humor. "No," she says. "No, I am not all right. I had someone call me this morning and say, 'I saw on Facebook that you're trying to force your husband's mother out of her own home so you can sell her land. I don't feel comfortable proceeding.' Do you know how that makes me look professionally? Do you understand how that sounds? Do you understand how damaging that is to my reputation?" Lauren's leaning on the counter by the coffee maker, arms crossed, watching. She hasn't said a word yet. She's just waiting. I tilt my head, all innocent. "Oh, honey," I say soft. "I never said you were forcing me. I told people you were worried. I told them you said I shouldn't be left loose in my own house. Those were your words, weren't they? Left loose. And that you said I'm not capable of managing the property. I told them you and Harris were trying to protect me. I told them your hearts were breaking." Gillian's mouth opens and closes. Harris turns red. "You can't say that to people," he shouts. "You made me look like I'm some kind of monster. Do you get that? You made me look like trash. You made me look like I'm stealing from my own mother. Do you have any idea what that does to me in this town? Do you have any idea what that does to my future? You are ruining my future. There it is, ruining my future. I almost say, you mean the future where you sell my house. But I don't get to, because Lauren steps in. That's enough, she says. Harris whips his head toward her. Excuse me? I said that's enough, Lauren repeats, voice steady, eyes flat. You don't raise your voice at her in her own kitchen. He laughs, high and ugly. Oh my God, Lauren, stay out of this. You don't even live here. You don't know what's going on. You've never respected what I do. You don't understand what it takes to build something real. You don't know what it costs to be responsible for a property this size, the taxes, the upkeep, the liability. All you do is drop in and stir her up and leave me to handle the fallout. I am the one keeping this family from falling apart, and she's out there running her mouth to every gossip in town like I'm some villain. Lauren doesn't blink. You are a villain, she says. Gillian slams her palm down on the counter. Silverware jumps. No one is a villain, she snaps, loud, like she's the mediator in a work meeting. Can everyone stop with the dramatic language? What we are trying to do is keep your mother safe, Lauren. That is all. She cannot realistically live here anymore. She's not capable of managing this property. She turns to me and talks about me like I'm not in the room. Piper, this is not personal, she says. It's just the truth. This place is too much for you. The stairs, the yard, the bills, the maintenance, the risk. You leave the stove on. You get lightheaded. Harris told me you almost mailed a blank check last month. You told us, with your own mouth, you feel overwhelmed and scared, out here alone. You did. You said that. So why are you suddenly running around acting like we're trying to hurt you when all we're trying to do is put you somewhere where people can keep an eye on you and make sure you're safe? That keep an eye on you lands in me like a nail. Lauren steps in front of me now, between me and Gillian, between me and Harris, shoulders squared. You are not putting her anywhere, she says. Gillian barks a laugh. Oh, really? She flicks her eyes up and down Lauren like she's nothing. And what's your plan, Lauren? You going to come move in and babysit? You going to quit your job and follow her around 24/7 and hope she doesn't wander out into the road at 3 a.m.? You going to stand over her shoulder and explain her own mail to her since she can't keep track of what's due and what's junk? Because that is what it takes now. She needs supervision. That word, supervision. I feel my jaw tighten so hard it aches. Lauren leans in. You don't talk about my mother like she's a dog, she says, calm as ice. Harris slams his hand into the table so hard the salt shaker jumps and spills. I am trying to save this family, he yells. Do you understand that? I am trying to keep us afloat. I am trying to keep her from getting hurt and keep this land from turning into a lawsuit and keep my business from going under, because every dime I have is going into keeping this place standing, and she goes into town and tells everyone I'm throwing her in a home so I can sell her house. Do you have any idea what that does to me? Lauren turns on him. Yeah, she says. It makes people see you. He glares at her like he could put a hole through her face. The whole kitchen is humming. My plates are rattling in the rack. This is not a house right now. It's a war zone. It's pressure and breath and heat. Everybody's standing. Everybody's too close. Everybody's hands are clenched. I can smell Harris's anger sweat. I stand up, slow. That's enough to make them pause. They both look at me. Harris's chest is heaving. Gillian's nostrils are flared. Lauren's jaw is tight enough to crack a tooth. We're not yelling in my kitchen, I say, quiet. Nobody sits. Nobody apologizes. But they back off half a step. That's the only control I get in that moment, and I take it. After a while, the storm burns itself down to simmer. Harris stomps outside to make calls. Gillian slams pans around like she's punishing the sink. Lauren sticks with me at the table, close enough to touch, just in case either of them decides to get brave again. We make it through the rest of the day on low boil. But later is worse. This house carries night voices like wire. It's past midnight again. I get up to pee and stop in the dark hallway because I hear them. Harris and Gillian. Their door is cracked, lights off, whisper voices hard and mean. I stay in the shadow by the laundry nook, one hand on the dryer, like I'm steadying myself. If they catch me, I'll say I got dizzy on my way to the bathroom. They'll believe that. It's part of the mask they built for me. Gillian's hissing. Her voice is tight the way it gets when she's scared and furious. This is spiraling, she whispers. I lost the daily listing. I lost it. Do you understand? That was 6%. Gone. Because people think I'm the realtor who's trying to shove her husband's mother into a home to sell the property. Harris mutters something I can't catch. Then louder, it's not my fault she won't shut her mouth. Gillian backhands him with words. It is absolutely your fault, she snaps. You're the one who told her, in plain English, she couldn't stay here. You're the one who said, Mum, you're not capable of managing this property. You're the one who said you were going to place her so you could sell. Now she's out there saying exactly what you said, and it's sticking, and I'm bleeding for it. Silence. Then his voice, low, shaking with anger. If she won't sign this month, the developer walks. We're done. I'll just file that she's mentally incompetent. I already have copies of her signature. I'll sign. They'll accept it. I hear my own heartbeat in my ears. Gillian exhales, shaky. Can you even pull that off? Yes, he whispers. Yes, people do it all the time. My elderly mother can't manage decisions anymore. Please let me act for her. They'll rubber stamp it. I'll say she leaves the stove on. I'll say she thought it was Wednesday all day today. I'll say she almost mailed a blank check. You heard her in the kitchen. I'm fuzzy. My sugar's funny. She basically handed that to us. I'll get paperwork. I'll sign, we'll sell, done. He says I'll sign about my name, like he's talking about borrowing my truck. Jillian's voice goes colder. Good, she whispers, because we have to get her out. The longer she's here, the more she poisons people against us. She is turning the town on us. She needs to be moved. Fast. Moved. Fast. I stand there in the dark, one hand on the dryer, and I feel something lock into place inside me. It doesn't hurt. I'm past hurt. It's beyond that now. They're not even pretending anymore. Not even to each other. They're talking about me like I'm furniture. Move her, place her, remove her. They talk about me like I'm a heavy old couch they're sick of looking at. Put it in storage. Sell the house it's sitting in. Tell everyone, we had to, safety issue. I go back to my room and sit on the edge of my bed in the dark. I stare at the old crack in the ceiling, and it doesn't look like a crack anymore. It looks like a line I'm about to cut across their throats with words. Tomorrow, I tell myself, tomorrow I stop letting them talk like this in my house. Tomorrow I remind them I'm the one who owns the house. Morning comes, and I'm done letting them set the pace. Up to now, it's been defense. Stay calm, gather proof, don't tip them, let them talk. That was survival. That was me and Lauren keeping me in my own house one more day at a time. Now we flip it. Lauren shows up at dawn. She doesn't even knock. She just slips in through the side door with her keys still in her hand and says, "Get dressed." No good morning, no. Are you okay? Just get dressed. That's my girl. I pull on jeans, a clean shirt, boots, tie my hair back. I look in the mirror, and I see lines in my face I didn't notice last year. I don't hate them. They make me look like someone you don't move. We leave without waking Harris and Jillian. I leave them a note on the counter like I'm a teenager. Doctor in town. Don't worry. Harris thinks doctor means mental assessment. Let him have that little fantasy. Lauren drives us 2 towns over. Not here. Not where anybody golfs with Harris or went to high school with Jillian. We don't walk into some lawyer in our zip code and say, "Hi, please help us against local boy Harris Gale, the poor stressed son." We go where nobody knows our last name. We sit down in a small beige office that smells like burnt coffee and paper. The lawyer is a woman about my age, with stiff hair and low heels, and no patience for cute. She listens. She doesn't talk to Lauren instead of me. That matters. She looks at me when she says, "Piper, tell me what you want." Not, "What are you afraid of?" "What do you want?" "I want my house," I tell her. She nods like that makes perfect sense. Then we do it. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not, "Look at us, we're taking a stand." It's signatures. It's structure. It's ink and stamp. We create something called the Gale Homestead Trust. I know trust sounds like rich people talk. I used to think so too. I thought trust meant yacht money and grandkids named Preston. Turns out, trust also means I am done letting my child sell my house out from under me while I'm eating his scrambled eggs at my own table. Here's what that paper does, in plain words. We take the farmhouse and the land, and we move them into the Gale Homestead Trust. Legally, clean, witnessed, filed. This isn't something scribbled on a napkin. This is a real structure. Then we say, trustee, for life, is me, Piper Gale. That means as long as my heart is still beating, this property listens to me. I decide if it's sold. I decide if it's refinanced. I decide if anything gets signed. Nobody else's opinion matters. I could be 85 and in a bathrobe yelling at birds. Doesn't matter. The trust says I am in charge while I'm alive. Period. Then we name the successor trustee. We put Lauren. That means after me, Lauren steps in. Full authority. She's the one who controls it. She's the one who decides. When I'm gone, Lauren is the land. Lauren is the house. Lauren is the paperwork. Lauren is the law in that dirt. Notice who isn't in that line. Harris. Notice who never touches it. Jillian. They don't get, we're all siblings here, let's be fair. They don't get, but I'm the son. They're not in it. At all. They have no standing. They have no claim. They are ghosts on that paper. Here is why that cuts them off at the throat. Their whole plan hangs on this. Get me to sign something that gives Harris temporary authority, drag me somewhere for my safety, then have Harris sign my name on a sale, while I'm locked someplace with fluorescent lights and scheduled pudding. That's the play. But this trust doesn't care what Harris thinks I'm capable of. This trust only cares one thing. Is Piper alive? If yes, Piper is trustee. If Piper is trustee, no one else can sign. No one else can step in. No one else can sell squat. Even if Harris runs into some clerk and says, "Look at my poor confused mother. She thought today was Wednesday. She needs help. Please let me act for her." The trust says, "No, sit down." Legally, on paper. And if Harris goes ahead and tries to sell anyway by forging something, he's not just sleazy son anymore. He's a man committing fraud against a trust. That is a whole different level of pain than, we're just trying to do the right thing for Mom. We sign the trust. I sign with a steady hand. Lauren signs where she needs to as successor. The lawyer stamps it. The sound of that stamp feels better than breathing. I sit back in that chair and feel something I haven't felt since the day after David passed. I feel like I am back inside my own body. Lauren looks at me. "Do you understand what you just did?" she asks. "Yes," I say. "Say it back to me," she says, because she's a nurse and she checks for comprehension like it's medicine. "I locked the door," I say. She smiles, but it's not soft. "That's right," she says. We're not done. We go back to her place. Not mine. I don't want Harris wandering into my kitchen while I'm drafting his eulogy. I don't want Gillian hovering over my shoulder, pretending to make tea. We arrive at Lauren's apartment. 2 bedrooms, clean but unpretentious. Pile of laundry on a chair. Plant in the window, wilted but still fighting. Real life. Lauren clears the table and dumps out her tote bag like we're laying guns. "This is for Friday," she says. We start building the weapon. First folder, the David Hart screenshots. I print every last one. There's his face at the top of Gillian's lock screen. There's my late husband's name, with a red heart next to it. There are the texts. "You handled her well. Don't push the papers yet. She has to think it's her idea. After she signs, you move her. Keep her calm. No drama. Tell her it's safer for everyone if she lets go of the property. Don't scare her. Say this is what I wanted. That right there is proof Gillian was letting herself be guided by somebody pretending to be my husband, and proof they were rehearsing how to break me. Emotional manipulation, documented. Using my grief, documented. Making it sound like my late husband wanted me to hand them my land, documented. We print them in color, timestamps and all. You can see his stupid fishing hat in the little contact bubble. Gillian can't, that's out of context, her way out of that. Second folder. Audio. Lauren already pulled the recordings off the kitchen and living room bugs and dumped them on her laptop. She sits and transcribes the best cuts. We're not talking cute little out-of-context lines. We're talking full sentences in their own voices. Lauren reads them out loud while she types. We just need her signature. As soon as she signs, she can't walk it back. We sell to the developer, clear my debt, done. We'll move her out after. She'll be fine. If she won't sign this month, the developer walks. We're done. I'll just file that she's mentally incompetent. I already have copies of her signature. I'll sign. They'll accept it. We have to get her out. The longer she's here, the more she poisons people against us. She needs to be moved. Fast. I sit there and listen to my own son saying he'll just declare me incompetent on paper and sign my name for me, like I'm luggage. I don't cry. I'm past crying. Every time he says, I'll sign, something in my chest goes tighter and colder and calmer. We print the transcript. We label it, recorded in kitchen, date, time. We staple it. We put it in the folder. Third folder, The draft developer contract, Gale farmhouse parcel. Seller's representative, Harris Gale. Owner no longer capable of managing the property. Arrangements will be made for supervised care. Reading that on a screen made me feel like someone put a fist through my ribs. Reading it printed on paper, black ink on white, does something else. It makes it real. It makes it hard. It makes it physical. That paper says I don't exist. That paper says I've already been taken away. That paper says my land is already in escrow, and my name is just a technical step. We print 4 copies, one for me, one for Lauren, one for the table, one for, in case they try to grab one and run. When we're done, the table looks like a trial exhibit. It looks like we're about to call God as a witness. Lauren sits back and blows out a breath. Okay, she says. Last step. Last step, I repeat. You're going to invite them, she says. This is the part that tastes like vinegar. I don't want to sit at a table with Harris and Gillian again. I don't want to listen to them pretend to love me. I don't want to smell Gillian's perfume or hear Harris's, "Mum, I'm just trying to help" voice. I want them out of my house and out of my air. But Lauren is right. We don't end this by sneaking around. We end this by pinning them to my kitchen table and making them look at what they are. We end it by making them hear themselves in their own voices. We end it by taking away the last story they thought they had. We were only doing what we had to for Mom's safety. No, you were doing what you had to for your debt. I pick up my phone. Put soft in your voice, Lauren says. Make him think you're tired. Make him think you're finally ready to just sign and let him take care of everything. He'll come running. I roll my eyes. You're enjoying this? I am, she says. Go ahead. I call Harris. He answers on the first ring. Of course he does. He's probably had his phone in his hand since breakfast, waiting for me to crack. Hey, Mom, he says, soft, like I'm glass. How are you feeling? I put a little shake in, because now I know how to use his own playbook. Harris, I say, all worn out. I don't want any more yelling. Instant silence. I can't stand this fighting, I say. I can't stand us going around and around in my kitchen, everybody mad. I can't sleep, I can't eat. I don't want the town talking. I don't want Lauren snapping at you. And I don't want Gillian upset. And I don't want you upset with me. I just want peace. I want it settled. I hear him breathe in. He thinks this is it. I can feel it through the phone. I was thinking, I go on, soft and shaky, maybe we could all just sit down together, Friday night like a family, and talk it through calm. Just us 4. Me, you, Lauren, Gillian. No more yelling, no more drama. Just sit at the table, have dinner, and settle everything. Get the papers done. Be finished. I don't want this stress anymore, baby. I can't take it. He almost trips over his own voice trying to say yes. Yeah, he says. Yeah, Mum, absolutely. We can do that. That's all I've wanted, just to get everything taken care of, so you don't have to worry anymore. Friday night is perfect. We'll handle it. I'll take care of it, okay? I'll take care of it. In his head, he's already rehearsing how he's going to spin it. We all sat down calmly. She chose this. It was mutual. We agreed. He's already smoothing the story for whoever asks. Thank you, I whisper. Thank you, honey. I just want peace in my house. You'll have it, he says. We hang up. Lauren is looking at me like I just pulled a loaded pistol out of my purse. Friday, she says. Friday, I say. You ready? She asks. Yes, I say. You sure? She asks. Yes, she nods once. Here's how this is going to go, she says. We're not screaming. We're not crying. We're not throwing plates. We are going to sit them down at your table. You're going to tell them, in plain English, what the Gale Homestead Trust is and where it puts them, which is nowhere. You're going to play Harris's own voice back to him. You're going to hand Gillian those screenshots with Dad's face and ask her if she's talking to a ghost or just faking him. And then you're going to tell them the rules. Out loud. I know, I say. And after you tell them the rules, she says, that's it. You don't negotiate. I know, I say again. She studies me for a long second. You feel scared? She asks. No, I say. And I really don't. That surprises me. I don't feel scared. I don't even feel hurt. Hurt was 2 nights ago, standing in my dark hallway listening to my son whisper, I'll just file she's mentally incompetent. I already have her signature. I'll sign. Hurt was then. We're past that now. Now I feel something else. Final. I slide one folder into my purse, then the second, then the third. The trust paperwork goes in last, flat and neat. My hands do not shake. Friday night, I think. Friday night they will sit at my table. I will lay it out in front of them, and I will end this with my words. Friday night, the house is clean. I cleaned it myself. I wanted my floor swept, my counters wiped, my table cleared. I wanted no dishes in the sink. I wanted everything still and plain and mine. I cooked too. Pork chops, beans, potatoes. Not because I'm feeling motherly. Because I want them calm when they sit. I want them fed. I want them off guard. Lauren is already here. She's dressed simple, hair back, face empty. She doesn't look mad. She looks prepared. She has the folders in her tote, stacked, labelled, smooth. She sets the tote on the floor by her chair. She rests her hands flat on the table and waits. She doesn't say much. She doesn't have to. The air around her says enough. Harris and Gillian come in 5 minutes late, like they're arriving for a meeting I asked them to hold. Harris is smiling. Harris is loose. Harris is, let's all just be reasonable, okay? He pats my shoulder when he walks by, like I'm nervous, and he's here to guide me through this difficult moment. Gillian is smiling too, but hers is tight at the edges. Her mouth is doing polite. Her eyes are doing calculation. They sit across from me and Lauren. My table. My light above us. My kitchen. The same table where he ate birthday cake when he was 6, cried when his fish passed, and slammed his fist at 15 because I wouldn't let him go out. The same table where Gillian sat 2 nights ago and told me I couldn't realistically live here anymore. That matters. The ground matters. Harris puts his hands flat in front of him, like he's about to bless the food. Okay, he says, warm. Good. This is good. This is what I've been wanting. Just us, calmly, no yelling, no drama, just figuring out what's best for you, Mum. I'm really glad you're ready to do this. He thinks this is his victory lap. I look at him for a long second. It's the last moment I will ever look at him like my son. Then I nod, small, like I'm nervous. I don't want any more fighting, I say softly. You've been anxious. I've been anxious. So I took care of it. I made sure nobody has to worry anymore. He blinks, just once. He wasn't expecting that line. Gillian tilts her head. Took care of what? She says, and I can hear the sharp under her sweet. I reach down beside my chair and lift the first folder onto the table. Pale blue. Neat. I slide it across to them. Start there, I say. Harris opens it like he's unwrapping a present. Gillian leans in over his shoulder, hungry. They skim the top page fast, then the next, then the next. I watch it hit. The header says, Gale Homestead Trust. The first section says, what property sits inside it. The farmhouse, the acreage, my land. The second section spells out authority. Trustee, Piper Gale, lifetime. Successor trustee, Lauren Gale. No mention of Harris anywhere. No mention of Gillian anywhere. Not in small print, not in footnotes, not in other interested parties. Nowhere. Harris keeps scanning. His eyes jump, then jump back. You can see the thought process right on his face. What is this? Okay, but I'll be in here. I'll be in here. Where am I? Wait, where am I? Where am I? He flips to the page with duties and authority. He reads the line about decision-making. He reads the part where it says the trustee, meaning me, has sole power to control, manage, encumber, lease, or sell any trust property during the trustee's lifetime. He reads the part where it says no other party may exercise or assume authority over trust assets without express written consent of trustee. He keeps waiting for a however. It doesn't come. Gillian's voice comes out tight and thin. "What is this?" she says again, but this time it's not curiosity. It's panic hiding as polite. "It's done," I say. "Filed, witnessed, signed. This house and this land are in the Gale Homestead Trust now. I am the trustee while I'm alive. When I'm not, Lauren is. That's all." Harris lets out this dry sound, like a laugh that forgot how to be a laugh. "Mom," he says, like I've done something silly. "Mom, come on. You can't just sign something like this without talking to me. That's not... You can't just exclude me like I'm some stranger off the street. That's not how this works." "That's exactly how this works," Lauren says quietly. He ignores her. He leans forward on his elbows, talking to me like I'm frail and confused. "You don't understand what you just did," he says. "You don't understand what this means. You basically just handed control of everything to Lauren and cut me out completely. Do you get that? Do you get what you're doing to my future here?" I don't answer. I let him keep going. This part is important. He slaps his palm against the paper. "You are destroying everything I've been trying to build," he says, voice shaking now. "You are betraying me. You are letting her manipulate you because you're scared. You're letting her poison you against me. You're being selfish. You're not thinking about what this does to me." There it is. Selfish. Betraying. Destroying his future. The words come out of him like pus. I nod toward Lauren. She doesn't say a thing. She just reaches into her tote, pulls out a little silver recorder, and sets it calmly in the center of the table, like salt. Then she presses play. The kitchen fills with Harris's own voice. "If she won't sign this month, I'll file that she's mentally incompetent. I already have copies of her signature. I'll sign. They'll accept it." Nobody moves. My house is quiet in a way I have never heard it. You can hear the hum of the fridge. You can hear Gillian's quick little breaths. You can hear Harris swallow. Lauren lets another line run. "We sell to the developer, clear my debt, done. We'll move her out after. She'll be fine." Harris lunges and slaps his hand over the recorder like he can shove the sound back inside it. "That is out of context," he says too loud. His voice cracks on context. "You don't get to just secretly record private conversations and play them back like, that's illegal, Lauren. You can't just..." "It's not out of context," I say. He turns back to me, face red. "Mom." "It's not out of context," I say again, calm. "That's you. In my house. Talking about me like a problem you're going to file away. That's you saying you'll declare me mentally incompetent and sign my name for me. That's you saying you'll move me out after you clear your debt." His mouth opens, closes, his jaws jumping. Gillian tries to cut in. "Piper, listen." "Not yet," I tell her. I reach down and pull up the second folder. Pink this time. I slide it across the table to Gillian. She stares at it like it's ticking. She doesn't touch it. "Go on," I say. "Look at it." Her hand is shaking now, just a little. She opens the folder. Color prints, screenshots. There he is, David in his stupid fishing hat, sunburned nose, grinning. David, at the top. Underneath, the messages. "You handled her well. Don't push the papers yet. She has to think it's her idea. After she signs, you move her. Keep her calm. No drama. Tell her it's safer for everyone if she lets go of the property. Tell her it's what I wanted." Gillian's face drains so fast it's like someone pulled a plug in her. Her mouth moves, but no sound comes out. I lean forward and look her in the eye. My voice stays even. I don't raise it. I don't cry. I don't shake. I don't get dramatic. I just ask the question. "Is this you, Gillian?" I say, Or did my husband start texting you from his grave using a number registered to your real estate office? Her eyes jump to Harris, then back to me. Piper, she starts, and her voice breaks clean in the middle of my name. I keep going, because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you and whoever helped you took my late husband's voice, put a heart on it, and used it to coach you on how to walk me into signing over my land and letting you move me out of my own house. It looks like you rehearsed what to say to make me think he wanted it. It looks like you practiced how to break me without me fighting you. Gillian shakes her head fast, like that'll make the paper on the table disappear. That's not fair, she whispers. You're twisting. I am reading, I say. I'm reading screenshots. You want me to read out loud? After she signs, you move her. That's yours. Keep her calm, no drama. Yours. Tell her it's what I wanted. That's you pretending to be David. You faked my husband to my face. You walked into my kitchen and told me, in his voice, that it was time to hand you my life. Do you have any idea what kind of person does that? Gillian's eyes are shiny now. She looks small. Not sorry, just caught. Harris tries to get his footing back. Okay, he says, hands up, trying urgent reasonable. Okay, can we all just calm down for a second? Mum, listen to me. This is getting way out of hand. You're letting Lauren spin this, and Gillian's messages are being taken totally out of context, and this trust thing is extreme and honestly dangerous for you, because you don't understand what you're signing over, and you're trusting Lauren with everything, and I'm telling you right now, you are going to regret cutting me out like this. You are going to regret this forever if you don't slow down and think. I stand. The chair legs scrape the floor. That sound is sharp in the quiet. Harris shuts up. Gillian shuts up. Even Lauren looks at me. I don't raise my voice. I don't have to. I am done asking. I am done explaining. I am done letting them tell any version of this where they come out looking like loving caretakers, and I come out looking like a confused old woman who just got overwhelmed. I look straight at Harris first. First, I say, clear, steady, final. This house and this land are not yours. They're in the trust. I run it. After me, Lauren runs it. You will never touch it. He opens his mouth. I keep going. Second, I say, you're going to pack your things and you're leaving my house tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight. Gillian's head jerks. Piper, that's... I turn my eyes on her and she swallows the rest. Third, I say, you don't get to tell people you took care of me. You don't get to stand in town and play the good son, the good wife. I've already let people hear what you planned. They know exactly who you are and what you tried to do. You don't get that story anymore. I do. Harris is breathing hard now. His face is red and blotchy. He looks like a boy again, cornered. For a second, I almost feel something. Then I remember him saying, I'll sign her name. I'll file that she's incompetent. We'll move her out after. It's gone. Fourth, I say, you don't speak for me. You don't touch my papers. You don't call anybody saying you're my representative. You don't decide where I live. That ends now. I lean in, just enough he has to look up at me. My kitchen light is hitting him from above. He looks small under it. And one more thing, I say. My hands are steady. My voice is steady. My heart is steady. You are not my family anymore.